Well, does anybody knows what this is? Actually, this is the neurons on a rat's brain. I will read the caption. Mark Miller, a doctoral student at Brandeis University, is researching how particular types of neurons in the brain are connected to one another. By staining thin slices of a mouse brain, he can identify the connections visually. The image above shows 3 neuron cells on the left, 2 red and 1 yellow, and their connections. Now, what do you think this is? Does anybody have any idea what this is? This is actually what we originated from. We evolved from the Big Bang 14 billion years ago. I will read the caption. An international group of astrophysicists used a computer simulation last year to recreate how the universe grew and evolved. The simulation image above is a snapshot of the present universe that features a large cluster of galaxies, bright yellow, surrounded by thousands of stars, galaxies, and dark matter. Well, very similar, aren't they? Now, look at this. What does everybody think this is? This is our brains. This is what we think with. This is what we created God with. So Christ-Psychosis is an awful disease. Religious is a mental illness that is destroying the planet. It actually, abstract thinking is what made us really evolve into from primates into we are now Homo sapiens, which are nothing but crazy, evolved primates. That's what we are, people. The stupid, retarded Christians don't realize it, and all the religious people are, because they have this illness that fogs the intellect. Here, you can see this, and you can say, well, what is it? Well, this is an amoeba. These are crystals of an amoeba. And, very miniature things that we have in our bodies too. They come from the inner universe. And here is again. These are not craters on the moon. This is an amoeba. Again, there you see the world of the amoeba. And guess what this is? This is craters in the moon. And this here is the Gusev crater in Mars. So, these people out of, go to a mental institution, the ones that believe in UFOs and conspiracy theories and believe in Jesus Christ and resurrecting saviors and all kind of stupid delusions of the religious psychosis. This is a type of a schizophrenia. This is what's screwing up the world today. Hitler was a Christian. That's Christ-Psychosis caused the problem. Stalin also the same thing. And then we have the Crusades, and we have all the insanity. We have Jim Jones, the Christian. We have Door of Heaven's Gate, the same thing. And then we have the lady that drowned her 5 kids, Andrea Yates, a typical Christian, idiotic, retard, sick woman, thanks to this illness, and her husband too, and the rest of the community. Nobody sees it. And of course, the Columbine shooters were also Christians. They believed in all these delusions and imitated the Matrix. Because the moment you're infected with delusions of religion, you accept any other delusions to be true. So to them, the Matrix characters are true, and everything else is true. Thanks to this psychosis that we have. Of delusions and reality is a form of mental illness. It happens in schizophrenia. Here is, you can see the Jerusalem syndrome. And this is from 1999. The people that VT was infected since early childhood with Christ-Psychosis. That's the cause. And then we have retard Christ-psychotic people like Franklin Graham. The man is so crazy, so delusional. Then you have Deepak Chopra. They failed to see the reality of it all. What prayers are going to do? Zero. Nothing. The reason all this thing is happening, all this shooting, is because of Christ-Psychosis. These people are delusional. This kid was completely in a mess because of that, just like a schizophrenics are. They have to deal with it. Religion is a form of mental illness. Mental illness.
Well, see, there are two components in this particular case. There is evidence that this young man was mentally unstable. In fact, he had been hospitalized for that and seen for that. So that was something that one has to be more alert to, mental instability. And therefore, there's a role for security and vigilance around these issues of mental instability, because mentally unstable people can be extremely dangerous and sometimes it's totally beyond their control. Can we begin the process of healing? And healing is nothing other than the return of the memory of wholeness. How can we embrace everyone in our personal lives and say to them, what are you feeling at this moment? How can I help you feel more safe? Engaging. And in that collective safety and that collective sharing, there is compassion. When there is compassion, there is love.
Mentally unstable, the VT shooter? What about you? You cannot tell the difference between delusions and reality. And this, you're either a con artist, my friend, or, you know, you are infected with this Hindu psychosis, which mutated into this spiritual psychosis nonsense. Return of the memory of holiness? That's what healing is? What kind of a nonsense is that? Collective sharing, compassion? You know, these people are sick because of religious psychosis, because they cannot tell the difference between reality and fantasy. Look at our government. That's infecting everybody. We're in the 21st century. We're not in the dark ages. Collective sharing is compassion? What kind of a nonsense is that? How can I make you feel more safe, you say? Well, by treating all these Christ-Psychotics and people that cannot tell the difference between fantasy and reality. Everything is created with the brain. There is no God, the spirit is air in our lungs. That's what spirit is. The brain produces the mind. Deal with it. That is reality, my friend. If you these foggy things that you have in there, you better see a psychiatrist, a neurologist. Not a psychiatrist, because they're full of BS too. But, you know, the neurologists, people that deal with absolute facts. That's the way it is. This is reality. Christ-Psychosis must be cured, must be treated. The only salvation is by seeing a neurologist.